afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first IATEFL Live of 2023. So happy New Year to you all. I'm Sean, and as usual, I'm going to be joined by various people. As in this one, we bring you up to date with what IATEFL is intending to do over this year, all the things that you can attend and how you can get involved with events going on with IATEFL throughout the year. So welcome. Of course, if you have any questions, do drop them into the comments. We'll see them in the room and get back to you. But let's get started. Let's find out what's going on, what IATEFL is for those of you, etc., that don't know. John, how are you doing?
Hi there, Sean. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody else. And I am the first of your various people. I'm very excited by that. Okey-dokey. Oh, I'm just trying to warm up. It's absolutely freezing here, and I'm very jealous of anybody who is in the southern hemisphere and it's currently summer, because it's most definitely not that here.
Yeah, I know. Well, given that I was in the southern hemisphere 2 days ago, then this is an absolute shock weather-wise. Just jealous. No, anyway, let's not talk about holidays and southern hemisphere. So, if you don't, people who don't know you, John, if they're joining in for the first time, this is John Burton, and you are?
I'm the Chief Executive of IATEFL, and this is Sean, and you are?
And I'm a trustee, I think. That's what they call it. I'm the chair of the digital committee. And for my sins, I get to talk to you all through the live stream. So, John, let's go back. IATEFL. Well, if people are joining in the stream or want to know about IATEFL, let's find out a little bit about it. So
I'm going to start off with a challenge for everybody this year, and I'm going to give you that challenge to get involved with IATEFL on your terms, how you want to in 2023, and make the most of the association and what we have to offer you as an individual working in English language teaching. And as this page, our Get Involved page on the website says, you can get involved in a wide variety of ways, from obviously, as we'd love you to do, to becoming a member of IATEFL. If you are a member of IATEFL, then going the next step and volunteering in one of our committees and taking projects forward and building up your professional network that way. One other key thing, if you're not a member of IATEFL, right at the bottom of that page, it says not a member but want to know what's happening, and there you can subscribe, and on a regular basis you'll get an email from us telling you of all the events, because IATEFL, yes, of course, it's for its members, but it also offers lots of resources and opportunities for non-members as well. So really do get involved, and if you are a member of IATEFL, then have a look at your membership and make sure this year it does reflect you and your interests. If you're an individual member, then as part of your membership, you'll have chosen one of our 16 special interest groups to be your special interest group. But there's nothing to stop you adding to that and having 2 or 3. And as these Lego blocks sort of really demonstrate, building your membership to reflect your interests and your work and where you are. It's a great way, the special interest groups are a great way of really getting in contact with other English language teaching professionals doing the same kinds of things as you, having the same kinds of interests as you.
So John, you've come up with over a few things there. Again, many of you watching this are probably members already, but so when people join IATEFL, you're joining the organisation as a whole, and there are things that go on as an organisation as a whole, be it a conference, be it webinar, be it courses. Absolutely. Some of the things we'll talk about in a moment. But as part of that membership, you always join for free as such one of the special interest groups. And as you said, there are 16. I am tempted to test you without you looking at the screen to see if you can name them all. But there are 16 special interest groups. And that special interest group, for people that aren't sure what a special interest group is, it's something you would choose with your area of interest in teaching. And for example, I've always been learning technology because I'm from a learning technology background, but I've also been teacher development and teacher training, because I've been both of teacher education, both of those things. And people can look, and as you said, I think people choose one automatically, but you can be a member of more than one SIG.
And also, of course, if your line manager, your role changes and you need to build knowledge in a different area, or you're thinking of moving into a different area of the profession for the new year, then dipping your toes in the water, joining the special interest group is a great way of building connections fast and finding out what's happening in that sector, in that area of English language teaching at this time. Great way of keeping your skills up to date.
So again, building that bigger picture. There's the organisation as a whole with all its events, and then under that there are all the special interest groups with all their events as well. So this huge smorgasbord of things that you can actually take advantage of in your membership. But I guess it's more than that as well, isn't it? There are other things you can do.
Well, I mean, one really important thing, whether you're a member of IATEFL or not, is keeping up to date with all of our events, because almost all of them are open to members and non-members alike. And if you just jump to our website, to the events page, you'll see actually in 2023 we've already got 30 different events in the next few weeks and months coming up, which you can look at, find out more information about. Some of them are free to attend, others there's a small charge. There's also, of course, the annual conference, which we'll come to later. But yes, jumping onto our events page is a great way to find out and just look at, is that of interest to me? Many of them, as you can see from here, that they're organized either by IATEFL as a whole, and therefore will be a general content which is hopefully relevant to most, if not all of you. And other events are far more specialized within the area of one of our 16 special interest groups.
I know you're going to talk about some of the events in a moment. I've just got the webpage on my over screen. I see everything from storytelling webinars, pictures, language creators, mini courses, the web conference where we'll talk about in a moment, a swap shop. So it really is a huge range.
That's actually, if I can take 2 seconds just to mention some of those happening this month. Okay. I know we're already the 10th of January, which I can't quite believe. I'm still getting used to writing 2023 on the screen. But yes, ESOL, our ESOL special interest group, is running a swap shop this month. Our business English special interest group is running a weekend workshop. Our teaching, testing, evaluation and assessment special interest group are running a webinar on co-constructing as a way of measuring engagement through negotiated self-development. So those are sort of very specific ones. One slightly bigger one for to start the new year is actually with our young learners and teenagers. They're organizing quite a big web conference from the 13th to the 15th. Yes, so it's actually in 2 days' time it's starting. So starting very soon. The web conference is open to all. Anybody can attend that. And it's free of charge to attend, as well as the web conference. And if you are obviously interested in or working with young learners and teenagers, this is going to be of real interest to you. As well as that, at the same time, they are also organizing 3 mini courses, which are just 2 hours a day for the 3 days of the conference on, as you can see there, 3 different topics. And these are paid for, but actually £30 is not an unreasonable amount for a 3-day mini course. £15, half that price if you're a member of IATEFL, and if you're actually a member of the Young Learners and Teenagers Special Interest Group, they're completely free too. So that's an exciting event, or a few exciting events we've got coming up this month.
I think actually that also highlights one of the reasons to become a member of IATEFL. While we've always done things for free, because ultimately we're an educational charity, so we do provide things as part of our charity objectives. There is actually more to be gained. There are benefits of being a member. Yes, you can attend some things for free, but you can see a clear benefit here. That if you're a member of NICIG, it's free. So and if you're a member of IATEFL, then it's basically half the price. So when some people ask what is the benefit of being a member, I mean, practically you can get more by being a member than you get by being a non-member. With
our events, there are 3 tangible benefits. One is obviously the cost is reduced, or very often, or sometimes free. A second one is that if you're unable to attend an event, then IATEFL members have access to all the recordings, and there's a searchable archive for our members of publications and webinars and recordings, which is growing and growing and becoming absolutely huge, which is fantastic. And the third thing is that in attending as a member, you'll get a certificate which you can add to your professional development portfolio and start building onto your CV, which is another real benefit for members as well.
So let me just go back and put on the screen. If you're watching the recording and not sure what was it, this is the link that you need to go to. Obviously, if you're watching us now, you can go to that link as well. But if you are watching the recording and want to look at those events, then if you go to that web address that's there on the page now, and I'll put them into the comments page as well very shortly. So that will take you to all those. I think it was 30 that John
30 at the moment.
And if you're really desperate to get to the WILE event, that's a direct link to the WILE event because obviously that is coming up now, and there is a registration on that page. But you can find the WILE event on that page as well, and that's just one of the many events. And the program actually is absolutely fantastic for that conference. I was looking through that, going, "Oh yeah, I want to watch that. I want to watch that."
I think it's the start of the year. We're all enthusiastic to get our teeth into it, and this is a great way to start. Absolutely,
it really is. Let me hide some of those things off the screen. And before we move on, let me just say there are quite a lot of people saying hello. So hi, Parvin, Thea, Denise, Rita, nice of you to join us. Min, Ron, thank you for your comments. If I haven't said your name yet, I'll get to you. There is a question which Roxana will answer your question about being a member and attending conference very shortly when we move on to there. John, any other things you want to tell me about?
You mentioned something about a conference, Sean. Is there a conference?
Yeah, no. I don't think IATEFL's ever known for doing a conference.
No, we're really looking forward to that. I mean, we were talking in head office, and we're on the countdown. You know, in a matter of weeks, we're really looking forward to seeing everybody in Harrogate this year, the beautiful town of Harrogate, and we're really excited with the program.
It's that kind of thing. I don't know, because and I'm not directly involved in the conference, but I do think, you sat there on New Year's Eve and you're thinking about, okay, it's like when the clock flicks over to New Year, you go, okay, it's conference time.
It's
because we're as soon as the New Year starts, it really ramps up from head office and for us in terms of getting the conference ready. So shall we talk conference matters? Shall we bring someone else in?
Let's bring somebody else in.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Annie, join the stream.
Hi there, guys. Happy New Year to you and to everyone watching.
Okay, nice to see you, Annie. And for those people that might not know you, Annie, you are?
I'm the Exhibition and Sponsorship Officer at IATEFL.
Okay, so you might know a thing or two about the conference.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of involvement in it. Well, you guys have kind of taken the words right out of my mouth, and definitely now we refer to it as this year. We will now be holding our 56th International Conference and Exhibition, and it's going to be at the Harrogate Convention Centre, which is in Harrogate, from the 18th to the 21st of April. I know. How crazy.
Behave yourself, Sean.
With our pre-conference events that are going to be held on the day before on the 17th, but I know you guys are going to talk a little bit more about them in a minute. For those of you who don't know much about the conference, it does involve a 4-day program with an array of talks, workshops and forums, as well as a really vibrant sort of social program that we put on each year, and an exhibition hall, which is where I come in. It is a unique opportunity to meet loads of ELT professionals from more than 100 countries worldwide. I think we had from last year and previous years, and it offers an incredible experience, whether you're exploring the beautiful city of Harrogate or trying to attend as many kind of back-to-back sessions as possible to get as much information in. If you haven't yet bought your ticket for it, I'd recommend doing so before our early bird deadline, which is tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time. Get your tickets early and you'll see some really significant savings on that as well.
So just again, I mean, so there might be people who tune in for the first time, Annie, like early bird deadline. So if people don't register by 4 tomorrow, that's it. The time
they can still purchase their tickets. We can welcome people who come and buy their tickets on the day at the conference, but they won't see the significant savings that they will do if they buy before 4 p.m. tomorrow. That's where really, if you can get yourself in order and purchase before tomorrow, then you won't pay as much as the further pricing.
So if you are watching the recording and it hasn't become 4 p.m. on Wednesday, I've got a date right here, on Wednesday the 11th, you still have a chance to do the early bird deadline. And the early bird deadline, the early bird pricing is a substantially cheaper entrance fee to the conference. If you're watching this recording and it's beyond that time, you can still register for the conference. There is still a price for the conference. You can still register in advance. You'll just be paying slightly more. And if you want to decide later on, as Annie said, you can actually pay when you arrive. Although that means you've got to make a lot of arrangements without actually having bought your ticket.
Yeah, last minute decisions.
Last minute decisions. Go on, Annie. Sorry, I interrupted you a little bit.
No, thank you. Yeah. But yeah, if you're not yet sold or you want a little bit more information on what you can expect from the conference, we have just launched our preview brochure. And the preview brochure gives you a little bit more information about what we're going to be doing in terms of our plenary sessions, the events we're going to be holding. It has the previews available for the kind of sessions that are going to be taking place. You can download this from our website. If you go to www.iatefl.org/conference/preview-brochure, I think Sean's going to do me a favour and pop it up there.
Oh no, I want to make sure the audience have all made it. It's a
live
stream dictation. Have you all written it down and got it? So if you
want, we missed it.
I popped it in the chat box now so people can see it.
Thank you. But yeah, this is it basically gives you a sneak peek into the kind of things that we're planning and what we're preparing for. The brochure also includes and introduces our sponsors, who I always like to thank, as without their support, we really wouldn't be able to run the conference and offer to our delegates the all-round worthwhile experience that we do. We also introduce our exhibitors that we have booked so far. The exhibition is an intrinsic part of the conference and offers our delegates the opportunity to find out about all the latest ELT services, go and see live demonstrations, and really network with a variety of organisations that otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do as much.
Annie, this is your real area of expertise, isn't it? What kind of exhibitors do we tend to see at the exhibition?
We've got a variety. So we have everybody from kind of your big publishing houses to even small bookshops. We've got a career development zone that we're introducing this year, which has got international organisations who really focus on kind of career development for our delegates. They can offer advice. We have a one-to-one CV clinic within that area, and again another kind of pop-up stage, one which is suited for career development sessions, and another one which is mainly has our exhibitors do some kind of commercial presentations, as it were, but that's where you get sort of the live demonstrations. You can speak to them and get an idea of some of the new and kind of creative and innovative servicing products that they're putting forward for 2023.
It's a great way of, I always think, finding out, seeing the brand new course books and materials coming out, and sort of seeing from the actual publishers themselves exactly what the focus is of that material and whether it'll suit your classroom, your learners. I think that's a really useful aspect of it.
It is, although I found that the pop-up stages have added a new stress to me, because I've got the programme and I know where I'm going to go. I know, and it's like, there's something now going on the pop-up stage as well. They're getting dragged over there.
We try and put those in the break.
I know you do. I'm not. It's just we
put them in the break along with free tea and coffee, and that's how we're clever about it.
That's one of those. So Roxana's question earlier, as we started, was, can I attend the conference in April if I'm not a member? I think this confuses people. So can we have an answer, please?
Annie, do you want to answer that one?
Oh, no, I'm happy to. Yeah, I'm happy to. Yes, of course you can attend if you're not a member. Again, members do get a discounted price as to unless you were paying as a non-member. And it's a great reason to become a member. Again, on top of all the things that, I think Sean and John were explaining earlier about the different benefits and the resources and anything, I think John will add to this, like the main plenaries that we will be looking to film. When we make them available, we'll make them available to members, so they'll be able to watch them afterwards as well. So that's another great reason to come as a member, but you don't have to be if you don't need to be.
I think we always try and get the maths right so that actually it's cheaper or the same price to join IATEFL and attend the conference as a member, rather than paying as a non-member. And then you've got all the other benefits of IATEFL membership for the rest of the 11 and a half months of the year as well. So that's a really good way of doing it and a very popular thing to do. And actually, as a member, if you get a flavour for the conference and you really enjoy it and think, well, maybe this is my opportunity to speak for the first time, well, then submitting a proposal to speak at the following year's conference is reserved just for IATEFL members. So build that into your calculations too.
Okay, I think you've categorically answered that question. There is a question which has come up, and Annie did answer. If we could go back to 2 screens, we'll get the date again. So Sakanya, I think is the name, apologies, is asking when the conference will be held, and you can see there on the screen. So the main conference is held from the 18th to the 21st of April. And you can see under that slide there, it says pre-conference events. So if you're not familiar with the way that the IATEFL conference works, before the first day of the conference, so before the 18th of April, there is a day in which we have pre-conference events, which we're going to talk about a little bit in a moment. So this is an extra day. It's not part of the main conference, and it's kind of a day of mini conferences, I guess, 1-day conferences. But the main conference is held from the 18th to 21st of April, and for me, Harrogate is my favourite IATEFL venue.
It's lovely, isn't it?
I do like it. The thing I like about it because the conference centre is is bang smack in the middle of of, is Harrogate a city or a town? Because it's bang smack in the middle. It's kind of one of those places that you can just that you spill out, and the conference kind of spills out into all the restaurants, and for that moment that we're in town, we take over that part of the town, and IATEFL is everywhere, which I really
Absolutely.
like.
I was going to say, Annie, do you remember when we went up there? Well, relatively, I'm trying to remember when it was, but the thing that I remember as well is because it's right in the town centre, it's relatively near to the most beautiful botanic gardens, and going
that's
there
exactly
for
what
a
I was
walk
going to say.
Do you remember? Absolutely gorgeous. So a nice way to start the day or end the day after the intensity of the conference.
Well, surely you start the day in the botanical gardens, you go to conference, and you finish in Betty's, don't you, for a cup of tea and a scone?
Don't judge others by your own low standards.
I've never.
You're absolutely right.
I think it'll be my 3rd Harrogate conference, and I've not yet been to Betty's. Mohammed, do invitation letters need to be sent along? So Mohammed is asking about invitation letters. Do invitation letters need a long time to be sent?
So when you are registering, there is a box to tick to say that you would like to receive an invitation letter, which you can use to support your visa application to attend to visit the UK, and you should get that back within a week or 2 weeks of registering. Obviously, the closer it gets to conference, the quicker we go through it. But yes, it's a relatively short wait. But it is important, if you are applying for a visa to attend a conference, to organise that early to make sure you get everything in place. It's a good thing to start the year with on your to-do list to get it done and out of the way.
Okay, but how many of you did? Hopefully that will work its way out very shortly. So,
yes, absolutely.
To everyone else, heed John's advice. If you are paying any attention to the UK, things can be a bit slow. We've got a few things going on that make visas, etc., somewhat slow these days. But anyway, having just dealt with the UK border, we've talked about the main conference. Anything else, Annie? We've got the pre-conference events to talk about. Thank you so much for that, John.
problem.
Do you want to move on to pre-conference events? I'll take
Let's do that. Absolutely. So we've just said that the conference is actually for 4 days. And incredibly, when you think about how many sessions there are over the 4 days in about 17 different breakout rooms and a plenary each day, it's a huge conference, and therefore we can guarantee there's something for everybody, and absolutely your interests can be reflected. Go to that preview brochure and start planning your conference for you, what's of interest to you. But the day before the main conference, our special interest groups organize their own mini conferences, particularly focused on their area of interest. Or as you can see from the list here, there are some of these pre-conference events where 2 of our special interest groups have combined because they've identified an area of interest that they both want to look at, and therefore is relevant to a wider audience. And that's really exciting, I think.
Well, I think it's tricky this year to decide which to go to be honest.
I know there's a bit of a
and we should also make it clear that, like, so as I've said, I'm a member of the Learning Technology SIG. It doesn't mean to say I have to go to the Learning Technologies pre-conference event.
Not at all.
These are organised by the special interest groups, but they're open events to everyone. So
yes, you can attend actually just a pre-conference event on its own and not come to the conference. That's absolutely fine. Equally, with the conference, you can book for the 4 days of the conference, or it is possible to choose to come for just 1 or 2 individual days. So if you've only got a 2 or 3 day gap or availability, then you could, for example, attend a pre-conference event and the first day or 2 of the conference. Although a lot of our delegates, it's their week in the UK to refresh their connections and their networks, meeting colleagues from around the world, and really their opportunity to focus in on their professional development throughout that week. But yeah, there's an awful lot of choice and some really interesting ones this year, which I'm looking forward to hearing more about.
And if people go to the IATEFL webpage and go to I'm going to do an IATEFL.org /conference pre-conference events, then I did my homework before.
Well done.
then people can find out about more details about those events. Although, of course, now we are in conference mode, our live streams will be bringing much more detail about those as we come through. And again, I've dropped the link to the pre-conference event into the chats for people there.
Yes, if you visit the website, you can, for each of these areas where you think, for example, well, what does that mean? That title could mean many things. Go through to the website. You can find out a whole lot more about the program for that particular day, that particular pre-conference event, and think, well, yes, that's the one for me, or no, and find the one that suits you. And as Sean, you rightly said, it doesn't need to be the special interest group or the topic that you are a member of that special interest group. It could be something totally different that you fancy attending this year.
I did say I do find it difficult this year. I saw I think the one that I'm kind of leaning towards is the mental health in ELT one. I think that's really interesting.
It's such an important topic. And I think it has been, thank goodness it's an important topic that people are picking up and recognizing this as an area of concern for learners and for teachers, particularly as we've come out of the pandemic. It's been such a challenging time for everybody, staring at screens and not being able to have that human contact. It's actually one of the things which people mentioned most at our last conference in Belfast was, thank goodness it was fantastic to have that opportunity to have human contact once again. But I think it's had its toll on so many people. But in general, mental health in English language teaching, such an important topic to look at.
Yeah, I think it's always ties in nicely with one of the Divya's plenary session, actually, which is going to be a little bit on what's it called, Lean on Me, and it's about teacher resilience and things like that. So I think that's a thread. I'm done. Before the other special interest groups send me comments going, why aren't you picking on this? Just the one that I think that's really relevant topic in ELT. Any of the events. Looking at, I was looking at the more,
and hopefully we'll have an opportunity in a different live stream to come back and look at these pre-conference events in a little bit more detail for everybody. Yeah.
So pre-conference events, early bird deadline is what time tomorrow, John? Remind me.
4 p.m. UK time, and that is important actually, because it's not something we can control. It's automatic. It happens on our website, our database, so we're unable to flip it back and flip it forward. So we do need to designate one specific time.
And I would recommend that if you are going to join to come to the conference and want to do that early bird fee, don't come in at about 5 to 4 and do it, because it does take a little bit of time to do the booking form, to fill out everything, to send it through. So if you've already made the decision to come to conference and you haven't yet done it, I would get on the website straight after this and get on with it.
And I'm quickly going to add, because this is something that a few people do, and apologies if you have a problem with this, it's so important. Whether you're a member of IATEFL or not, before you try to make your booking, you need to create an account on our website. That's quick, really easy to do on our website. It's totally free. It commits you to nothing. It just means we know who you are, so that when you make your booking, we know what your name, your email address, your contact details are, so we can apply that booking to you. So please create an account. And if you've not done it before, go to the top right of the website and just click log in, and it gives you the option to create a new account. And it's, as I say, very quick and easy to do, but you need to do that, and then you can go to your dashboard and make your booking.
Yeah. So
but if you miss the deadline, it's not the end of the world.
So when you go to IATEFL.org, you'll see a big purple button, if you haven't got a profile already, that says join now. So that's your first port of call. If you've already joined, then you go to the button next to it, which is log in.
That's it.
And then once you're in your profile, once you've either created that profile or logged into your profile, that's when you can then create and complete the booking for the main conference.
Absolutely. But then bookings will continue all the way up to a couple of weeks before the conference online. And then, as Annie rightly said, if you've not caught that in time, don't worry, because you can turn up on the day and pay at that point and attend the conference, so you won't miss out.
Brilliant. John, anything else?
That's it from me. Otherwise, other than just to reiterate what I started with at the start, which is to wish everybody a very, very happy new year, and wishing you all a wonderful, a positive year to come.
That's very nice, John. And of course, now conference is picking up speed. We IATEFL Live will be with you, probably more regularly over the next few months, as we bring you snippets of the conference, talk more about the plenaries, the 5 plenaries that are going to come up during the main conference, talk about some of those social events that Annie mentioned, talk a little bit more about the exhibition and all facets of the conference. And of course, we'll put back the IATEFL Live team, so as we move forward to bring you to actually bring you some live news from the conference once we're going. So to echo John's words, happy new year to all. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for watching the recording. If you are watching the recording and you do have a question, we do monitor the comment box afterwards. So if you do have a question, you can pop it into the comment box on the Facebook page. We will see it and hopefully get back to you on that. Other than that, we'll probably see you in a couple of weeks for another live stream. So watch out in the Facebook page for details of what's coming up next. Thank you very much to John Burton and Annie for giving us their time. And we'll see you again soon. Remember, early bird deadline, 4 o'clock tomorrow. That's tomorrow, Wednesday. If you, I say tomorrow when...
if you've got jet lag.
Recording. So goodbye for now, and we'll see you again.